Welcome back to Briarcliff High School. Eli Karp along with Sam Driver. Start of the second half of this sectional matchup between the boys soccer team versus Edgemont. And we're scoreless at the moment. Sam, what does each team need to do if they want to come away and move on?
I think the key for Briarcliff is going to be moving their midfielders up aggressively. They've been they sat back for much of the first half. And I think moving them up will allow them to convert much of the individual moments of brilliance into goals. For Edgemont, their offense was almost non-existent in the first half, and their defense seemed to be covering for it.
Well, a quick way in for the Bears, Omar Saleh, although Matt Cohen immediately went down and looks like he's grabbing something, kind of signaling to the bench if he needs to be taken out. He's had some injury troubles for this towards the end of the season, but the Bears already have a corner, and we're less than a minute into the second half. Dan Anton will be taking it from his side of the field. It's a long one, not very close on goal, but the Bears may just have a chance. Quebecca's chance was pretty much a whiff. And now it is Darvish who is blazing by defenders, and they might have a counterattack. Darvish, he's going to cross into the middle. Alex Leahy is there. No issue for him. And he's tried to break through defender. Wouldn't work. Alex Leahy has all of those, tricks up his foot, if I may. That was planned.
Before that chance on goal, I was going to say that Edgemont, in order to get their offense in, needs to start counterattacking more. They had moments of it in the first half, and they got to keep that going.
This is already better from the Bears. They're trying to really spread the field on the counter, but that wouldn't work. Although they had something with the initial ball through to Cohen, and then he swung it into the middle. So it's better from the Bears already, as Dan Anton had a nice poke, and it will amount. Well, it's actually rolling further and further. It's in for Edgemont, and now it's out. The Bears will have a throw in deep in their own corner.
It's interesting to see that we haven't seen much Sean Mooney this game. I think his vision in the midfield is quite good, and it might help them get some chances on the Edgemont side of the field.
So after the initial scare, it looks like Matt Cohen is okay to stay in. Obviously, very key with the Bears' depth. Granted, he is also a starter, so anytime a starter has any injury scare, it's big. And now the ball in comes to Ballas. Ballas looking to do his thing, and it will stay in. He's got a couple men to beat. And Omar is going to come away with it and boot it out to the hold-up player, which is Cohen. And as Brandon Beck is saying right now, he is very right. There are millions of space, at least it sounded like he says. Cho had, and now the ball came for Cho, one of the few through balls we've seen for the Bears, and he knifed his way through the defender. Cho's going to put it on net. Cohen, a header just out of his reach. Hamill handled it easily because there was no head on it, and now Bassard, clearly a blatant foul.
I'd like to see them get it to Cho more on the wing. He's had several moments of brilliance this game, really just out maneuvering the Edgemont defenders, and I think that's going to be one of their key ways into the box this game.
Well, obviously, when you get it to him on one of the wings, his specialty, he takes a lot of the set pieces and the services, so obviously there's going to be a good chance he's going to put in a decent, at least, ball. So that's already better from the Bears. They've now worked their way into the Edgemont side of things 2 times already, although that was not a great turnover from Quebeca, and that was a very nice slide tackle. It was borderline. The player went down, but he did get ball, and now the Bears have some room if they move forward. Anton on his horse, trying to maneuver his way past Garvelink, who's been picked on a couple times already. It is tense now with 36 minutes remaining in the final half, although who knows, we could play a lot longer if the score remains scoreless.
I think from what we've seen so far in the second half, the hole in the Edgemont defense is going to be this number 4, David Garvelink. He's had some trouble keeping his man down, and Cho has been able to get past him as well as some of the other Briarcliff players.
Interesting move coming from Coach Brandon Beck here. Matt Lee entering the game for Dan Anton. Interesting to see the freshman come in the second half. first time seeing action today. So an interesting time. John Gross on our near side will use his throw-in skills to get it to Lee. And if the Bears can pressure, maybe they'd put Edgemont in a pickle, but they're not doing it that well at the moment, although you saw a little bit from Cho there. It's just not numbers, and Garverlink having more trouble. It's stolen by Cho off the turnover. Cho's going to fire a shot, but it's right into the breadbasket of Hamill. That is a shot, though. They're getting a couple more away.
I like the bringing of fresh legs in by the coach here. I think it's important that they abuse the pace that they have and that they take advantage of these slower defenders on the wings for Edgemont.
Garverlink will have to be the defender they'll choose to pick on, as they've really found some room past him. And Sam, you continue to use your favorite word today, abuse. It will be Peter Zelios, who had a chance earlier. Actually, correction, that was not him. He just had a little miscue before he took the throw-in, but the Bears quickly have it back. And they've already done a really nice job. I think we can both agree, Sam, that they've done a nice job pressing, and there hasn't been too much on Singer in this opening 6 minutes in this half.
Yes, the Barclay goalkeeper hasn't had to make a save the whole second half or towards the end of the first. The Barclay defense has really been locked down so far this game.
Now Matt Cohen, he muscled his way through one defender, and he's looking for Matt Lee. Obviously a tall test in your first playoff game as a freshman, and he turns it over. That's going to look to spring Zach Stern. Deneen on it there, and he will dish it back to Singer. Colby Cho going probably the wrong direction. Now the Bears will start out. Alex Leahy at the thick of things again. Omar, he's got room, and he's gonna do it himself. Omar taking on two. The ball is now skitters out of play, and it did take a deflection off of him, according to the official.
We saw the Barclay player on the wing here get out-muscled a few minutes ago. They need to be careful not to let the Edgemont abusers, or the Edgemont defenders, take advantage of their diminutive size.
Well, you see some of the size there. Colby Cho was taken down, but, you know, one of the benefits is that you may get a couple more calls. Alex Leahy's ball in. Caught a defender on its way up, no hand. And the outlet and the quick passing from Edgemont. Are they going to be able to manufacture anything here? Stern is on his horse, but Singer, a strong play on the ball. It will sail out, but quite a ways about midfield.
I've actually got to head out now. This will be the end of me for today. But before I go, I've liked the Barclay play so far. I think they've been in control of the game, and I wouldn't be surprised if they slipped one in before this game was over.
Thank you, Sam. You've been great today. I'd like to give a little shout-out as well. Coach D, who made a snag on that far sideline off Singer's kick out, was quite impressive. And now the Bears have committed a foul. Edgemont set up with a set piece. Looks like Zelios will be taking it. He's quite a ways from the 18, but you know he has a big foot from back there, so he can whip it in. And it's not a bad one. Singer is out there before Yumoto could converge on Cole's header. And Quebec's pass was off the mark, and he had to be the beneficiary of a deflection to get the ball back. Now joining me, taking over for Sam in color, Jordan Paley. Jordan, what your thoughts so far in the game as you've been watching?
I believe that Briarcliff has really done a really good job getting the ball up the field. Now it's really to just convert. And with Edgemont, their main bread and butter is to get the big play, get the ball over the defense. And right now it seems like Briarcliff is not letting them do that. And if they can continue that, then Briarcliff has a very good chance of winning this game.
Well, they've got a half hour to get a goal, and now it is Darvish trying to maneuver his way by Deneen, and he's done so into the box. Deneen tried the slide, wouldn't work, and Bassard is there to defend. He does so cleanly, but it will go for an Edgemont corner. And so far, this Edgemont D-line, which has been suspect, I should say, in the regular season, has held up pretty well. It's really only been number 4, David Garvelink, who the Bears have had some limited success with. John Gross missed the header. And now Omar Saleh uses his physical play and his speed. He's got room on our near sideline. Being tracked down, he's going to stop. He was picking on Garvelink, and he's got it to Cohen, but he couldn't control it. Can he pick on Garvelink again? Well, yeah, he turned it over, so I guess that's success for the Bears, as they found a little bit of success on this near side, and the return for Matt Lee. Matt to Matt, and he stopped playing for a second. It didn't fully roll out, and now Edgemont will have a corner as it deflected off of Lee, although the Bears really a couple promising give-and-goes there. They just weren't quite executed to perfection. And right now, perfection is the only thing that's going to cut it. Anton will return for Matt Lee. It's a little under 10 minutes of playing time for Matt Lee here early in the second half as we approach 28 and a half minutes to go in regulation. We are scoreless. It's the 6 and 10, Edgemont Panthers, the 10 seed in the tournament bracket versus the 7 seed, 7, 6, and 2 Bears.
It seems like on those past few plays, especially when Briarcliff was able to bring the ball up, it seems like that's when Edgemont is really, really aggressive, and it does not seem like it's very good for them.
Eric Koenig found a little bit of space, but it didn't look like he fully looked up and saw the amount of greenery and time he had as he fired one from a ways out that never had a chance. You can feel this game is just begging for a goal. Even though there haven't been a plethora of scoring opportunities, they need one, and that's a beautiful kick coming from Elliot Hamill. Pleasantville goalie Jan Becerra also had a booming foot, so the Bears are used to defending and fighting for 50-50s at midfield, and Eric Koenig does a nice job of aggression and winning possession deep in the Edgemont half.
Playing for those 50-50 balls will really help them get farther into the game, and with this throw-in very close to the goal, this could be a big opportunity for the Bears.
The throw-in came from Gross. It's bounding around, and Gross is going to be content to let that roll out for another throw-in. Now it looks like Edgemont's scrambling a little bit more on the defensive end, and Gross will do it again, rinse and repeat. No one's really making too many runs near John Gross to get open. As Bassard, the backwards header, can Jack Deneen corral it? Not really. He took it off of a spinning half volley, and Hamill will look for his man all the way on the far sideline. A good throw. A little bit sloppier now, and Singer will have another easy ball to field. So far, Rosenthal and Cole, the two biggest scoring threats for the Panthers, have been pretty neutralized, and the Bears have something here. The ball for Matt Cohen, a little out of his reach, just too hot. And it looks like Rosenthal was taken down on the play involved in Cohen's run. Bears will have a throw-in, though, 25 minutes to go.
The one thing that Briarcliff has to keep in mind is that Edgemont, on their home field, it is grass. So with the turf, the ball will move a lot faster. So hopefully that's something Briarcliff can use to their advantage.
Dan Anton nearly had a shot at it, but it didn't quite make its way to him. And Alex Quebecca's first header, not as effective as usual. And now Edgemont trying to switch the field. They have Abdul Wajid and Alex Leahy's on him, and he will easily poke it out of bounds. And it will go off of Wajid for Briarcliff throw-in. Masterful play from Alex Leahy. To whip his foot like the maestro, and looks like Elliot Hamill is a little unhappy with his defense. See Leahy being very vocal today, the leader of the back line. Dan Anton able to slip his way through, although they're clogged on this near side, and he lost. Sard's going to have to track it down. He's got Ballas working on him. Ballas going to curl it in. He went too far, but no one on it defensively for the Bears. Singer was looking if he was going to go or not. And not out yet. Omar came to the foot of Shifte. And now the Bears will just let it hop into the hands of Singer, as it looks like there are a couple raindrops starting to fall and the wind picking up. I don't know. In movies, rain usually means something. I don't know about now. Looks like the Bears are going to shift formations a little bit. John Gross is going to get a rest. Dan Anton going to move back to outside back, as we've seen him play in the last few contests. And Matt Lee will move up to the midfield spot and play some offense as well. So obviously Brendan Beck liked what he saw from Matt Lee, and he's got himself back in the game. He will switch the field to Omar, who's got room in the middle, but the touch too large. Another turnover. And Brendan Beck actually doing an imitation of what he just did with the ball, bouncing around, telling him, calm down. It looks like John Gross is, I don't know, a little laboring or sick on the sideline. He's not sitting on the bench. And now the Bears will have a free kick. Again, it's Cho. And he is guilty of moving it up a few too many yards. It'll come from a ways out, nearly 50 yards. There are a plethora of people standing on the outside of the box. Matt Lee, Cohen, Deneen, and Koenig, along with Saleh, who's isolated. As Alex Leahy, who will put it in, and it's punched out strongly by Hamill. Strong play from Hamill. That's why he's considered one of the best in the section. And a turnover from Quebeca. Joe's going to have to hustle to get back, as will Quebeca. And Alex Leahy there to recover. Alex Quebeca, probably an avoidable turnover. As Sean Mooney looks like he's starting to warm up and getting ready to come back in. Cohen looking for the lead. It got Quebeca. Can he keep it in? No, he can't. Unhappy with that, as he was looking to just turn and go with a little bit of a roll of the foot. He just couldn't catch it cleanly. Brandon Beck saying, just keep playing. Well, that's what they're going to have to do, and we are approaching the final quarter of this game. 21 minutes left. Is someone going to end it in regulation? A low-scoring affair, as many have thought it would be. Positive energy coming from the Bears sideline, as it's a lot of middle of the field turnovers and sloppiness from both sides. A couple more through balls and long balls this half, but nothing extremely remarkable. One chance could likely be the deciding factor in this game. One miscue One whiff, one misplay, or one show of excellence as Matt Cohen's going to turn. And he couldn't find his way past the opposing number 6, who is Perlman. Did a good job done by Jack Deneen. But more turnovers. And now, leading his way, Alex Leahy's on it. So is Singer. Alex Leahy was tossed to the turf. No call. And it's going for an Edgemont corner. Everyone from the Bears sideline, and Leahy a little bit confused. There wasn't a call for a push.
This seems to be where some people seem to be getting a little frightened, because if Briarcliff has been getting a lot of shots towards the net, and Edgemont has been getting a few, but it might be this instance of quality over quantity.
Quality overrides every time, and they're still in the box. It looked like he got a Bears player in the face, and now it is cleared out by Sean Mooney, who has entered the game. Might have gotten Saleh in the face. And the Bears are scrambling for the moment. It has been a rocky season for the Bears, to say the least. But they're riding a seasonal high at the moment. Can they continue it and make their run into the playoffs deep? Koenig's got it. He's got a couple players. He beats one on his own. Koenig tracking his way in. The cross wouldn't work, but he's got it again. Being converged on. He's going to send it into the middle. Colby Cho! And he didn't hit it the way he wanted. Hamill, very vocal. Not sure if he's yelling at his line or the player who missed. Either way, Koenig set up Cho for a nice chance. Just not able to convert, but it's better. Bears actually took it away from themselves there, and Omar again playing a little leg kick with himself. And he's able to dance his way through a couple. Matt Lee's making a run, and that was to no one. But there's time. They're telling time. Cohen's in the middle, but he's isolated. The dish to Koenig was not strong enough, and now Cho's got to chase it down. It will go for an Edgemont throw. Again, Edgemont took out the Bears last year, one round later than this, at Edgemont, 2-1 in a close game. And it looks like Edgemont's going to be called for some kind of a foul. Couldn't quite see it. This Bears will be set up with a free kick. It's a good one coming from Alex Leahy. It's got plenty of length, and Eric Koenig's being held and keeping it in, and then he's dragged down. No call. No call in the box. And now Saleh, that looked blatant. Ref's hesitant to call it at this point in the game. And Saleh dicing his way through for the through ball. Cohen couldn't connect. But the Bears are pressing now. And Cho will dribble his way out of bounds, and it looked like they originally had the call, the Bears did, but now it's changed. Very questionable decision-making from the referees.
How the ref missed that call, I have no idea. But right now, the Bears cannot continue to be upset about it and think about it. They got to move forward because there's only just over 15 minutes left in this game, and they really need to press and get this goal.
Maybe you could call it a little salutary neglect coming from the officials, who seemed content to turn a blind eye on what looked like a trip. And that would have given the Bears an opportunity for a penalty kick. And while it's no sure thing with Hamill in goal, it could have changed the complexion of this contest. Now Edgemont pressing a little bit more. Bears having trouble turning it out. They're just kind of kicking it into the Panthers' shins. Cho then called for the foul. Officiating a little bit questionable now. It'll be Zelios taking it again. We're under 15 minutes. It's a good one in, and then headed away. What's the call going to be? Refs kind of looking at each other, and now they're going to award Edgemont a corner. Bears sideline up, saying they need to talk. Joe does a nice job to get it out. Can Cohen make something? Cohen's trying to jockey for position. He's not going to get it. Matt Lee's going to try to send Cohen. And it will be punched out harmlessly by Scarcelli. Quebeca to re-enter for Mooney. Who's going to be able to come up with a goal? That's the question, as really it seems like the only one scored is going to be the one to win it now. Eric Koenig, he's got a couple converging, and the little pass into feet wouldn't work. Bears have some room as the two talented sophomore midfielders out of the academy system, Cho and Quebeca, nearly converged on each other. Sard had a little bit of trouble. Not too much trouble for Alex Leahy, who couldn't keep it in. And now it looks like the ref is pulling out a card for Alex Leahy. They're giving him a yellow. Not sure what that's for, if he had words, but the Bears sideline infuriated, everyone a little bit confused. Where did the foul come from? Well, the questionable officiating train continues. It'll be up to the Bears to rescue it themselves. Looked like it could have been a handball, but the ref's not seeing things again. Hamill's going to have to handle it with feet. And of course he does so easily. Two Bears players converging on each other, and Anton's going to go down. He and Koenig didn't see each other. Anton is holding his head. They're going to have to stop play. Dangerous play. And Anton is able to find his feet and walk on his own power. Good sight. He will have to come out for at least a moment, though, with all of the new safety precautions.
Yeah, he has to come out in this situation with everything with concussions going on now. They really cannot take any more risks with these injuries.
Bears seem a little bit disjointed at the moment after a couple of non-calls and then calls. Obviously, Eric Koenig looked like he was taken down on the box with no intent of the ball, not called, and then Alex Leahy being given a yellow in a little bit of a befuddling situation. We couldn't see anything here that implied it was physical. Maybe he had words. But nevertheless, the Bears are without their star center back for the moment, and now he re-enters. He's just got to be very careful. Hopefully that doesn't play into his decision-making too much, as it's been fabulous But the Bears and Matt Cohen up top, Eric Koenig, Matt Lee, Jonah Kamen now in the game. They need to find something offensively. Quebec is going to need to facilitate. And he fakes out of his shoes. Wajid. Bassard feeding it up. Omar and the slide tackle. Bassard was clearly taken down. And Omar and looked like Scarcelli also collided on the play. Both are down and look writhing in pain. But the Bears will have a free kick from not too far away. Hamill has been strong on punch-outs. The whole Bears sideline is up. Tense moments with 10 and a half to go in regulation. He can cut through the tension in the air with a knife right now. And the Bears are going to use this injury timeout, if you will, to regroup a little bit. Have a little bit of a powwow. So now, Scarcelli was able to get off on his own power, which is good. And the teams are now back on the field and regrouped. Cho will be taking it, and he's discussing with the ref. There are 5 forward for the Bears. Too far behind the ball. Leahy at midfield. Quebeca not too far in front of him. And Quebeca having some words with Julian Darvish. The service in. Deneen wasn't able to get a header. And Edgemont had trouble keeping it in. That was Wajid, who's been all over the place tonight. So the Bears will have possession. And we now approach the 10-minute mark. Koenig kind of went for the dummy play there, and he has it back. Trying to do it on his own into the box. He couldn't take on 3. And it's cleared out. Alex Leahy, the strong header. And it looked like Matt Cohen was having a tough time, and the call is going against him. It looked originally like Rosenthal fell down and had trouble getting to his feet, and the call went against Cohen. Again, the officiating mystery continues as Wajid is working on Haxia. And now they're calling a corner against, or for Edgemont, even though it clearly looked like the ball deflected out on Wajid. What is going on?
Edgemont seems to be selling a lot of these calls. On the play to our near side, Rosenberg had already taken a few steps with Cohen already on him and then fell down. There's no way the contact could have gone any worse from those 2 seconds up until when he fell. This has not been the most sportsmanlike game that I have seen, and it is really going in Edgemont's favor right now.
Well, this is nothing new for the Bears. They've dealt with some questionable officiating, and it's just, even though their offense isn't their calling card necessarily, they're not going to get any help from the refs on offense. We've already seen that. Otherwise, Koenig would have been given a PK. Beck trying to fire up his troops, telling him to keep moving. There could be lots of time left in this game. Not just regulation, but we've got 8 more minutes to decide that. Quebeca looked like he was being held. And the Bears will be able to regroup. The long ball from John Gross, as Eric Koenig was probably tired by now. Jonah Kamen was kept in, now not kept in. Ref right on top of it saying they went out of bounds. And the players on the field for the Bears and the bench and obviously coaches are irate. Garvelink, who's been picked on a lot, will take the throw in, and Cohen's going to let it fall out. And does a nice little job faking the throw. That should win an Oscar, as should the Edgemont diving team today. And that in the box was a little miscue, and Cohen fell down. And that was a little sloppy coming from the Panthers, and now see if the Bears can convert it into something. It went for Cho, was too far, and Koenig nearly found the end of the pass. John Gross on his horse. He will let it go out wisely. Now Anton, it's too strong of a touch. And now it's just sloppy. Any little movement could make the difference at the time. Koenig's got time. He's going to lay it off to Quebeca, who's got a long shot, and Hamill had to tip it over. It looked like it hit Hamill, and then the bar. And it will be a corner. Hamill saying, no, that didn't hit off me, but it clearly did. And that shot from way out from Quebeca, initially looking harmless. We've seen it a couple times. He hit the post against Pleasantville. Can he get the Bears buzzing in the final 6 now? Show the service. Couldn't get ahead on it. A little bit of a miscue in the box. And now Rosenthal will be cited for a push on Deneen. So Alex Quebeca nearly amazing. I can't even find the words off the top of my head as I'm scrambling for them. But he nearly broke the tie and possibly came up with that elusive goal. We're all equal at nothing. Hamill easily handles it. That's a sky-high booming kick. Alex Leahy easily handling it. He's got to be careful with that yellow he picked up for whatever reason. And now one of the first offsides calls of the game, and over and back. We are under 5 minutes. Crunch time, as they like to say. And Omar taken down. He's on the ground having trouble. Michael Koza, the Edgemont coach, working on the refs, but I'm really not sure he has anything to work on them about. He's received the majority of the calls. The ref giving him a little talking to, and now it's in the box. The Bears have had it in the box a couple times. They just haven't been able to come away with a chance. It's still in there, and Hamill will gobble it up. Quebeca looked like he was pushed down. Vantage point from the ref, saw nothing. With his elusive footwork and his speed, it's very easy to take him down with little effort. And now he's got a little bit of room. He's got a couple converging on him, and he turns it over, but it's easy to take him down. And now a near ball down the near sideline. Alex Leahy on it, and he couldn't fully turn the corner because he was being held. So now winding on 3 minutes. The physicality is ratcheted up, and the ref's glasses have not found it. That ball, Singer had to corral it. It's in front, and then it's knocked in off the rebound. Edgemont has that singular goal. Singer had trouble, and then it looked like it just bounded around.
Scored by number 22, Zachary Stern.
At the worst of time for the Bears. All started with that throw-in. Now it's an all-out attack for the Bears, who got to save their season. Alex Leahy now being moved to attack. He's got something to prove. There has been a little stoppage time, but we're winding on 2 minutes. Leahy's going to cross it into the box, get it back. Leahy all on his own. Back to Cohen. Cohen couldn't fit it through. Koenig on the chest, and he scores! Eric Koenig ties it for the Bears. Do you believe it? Alex Leahy immediately doing it all on his own, and this game is tied. Instant offense, just add Leahy. And Eric Koenig, the captain, it's got to feel good for him.
Scores all tied up 1-1.
Less than a minute after Edgemont scores a bad bounce goal, the Bears come back with a strike, and this game is tied. Matt Cohen, some extracurriculars. And now this game is turned on a 180. Elliot Hamill will be taking the free kick from all the way out of his own 45. He'll have a chance to put a good one in. The Bears just have to defend, and I think they'll be happy to go to overtime. They just got to defend for a couple more minutes. Obviously, stoppage time will determine some things. But can the Bears maybe grab another one? Moving up, Omar looking for it, but it's too strong for him, and we've now reached stoppage time. Omar has it, looking for Koenig. Will he be the hero? The senior captain, he's determined that this is not his last game. And some shoving away from the ball called against Edgemont, so the Bears will have it. John Gross obviously will take the throw in. He's got Deneen. It bounded around that it would go for a throw in. No one for the Bears had really a shot there. Eric Koenig with the howitzer to tie things about 40 seconds after Edgemont had found an improbable goal. That one was almost more improbable. Quebeca turned it over, and now the through ball. Alex Leahy turning the corner again, and he will do so well. Quebeca's going to keep it in, and this is probably one of the last rushes of the game. The Bears have room. They have room with Koenig. And Koenig trying to take it himself. He took a fall towards the end and no call. Now the Panthers have it. John Gross bit at the wrong moment, and now it's behind Alex Leahy. Into the middle, there's a chance, and Deneen is able to thwart it. That's how the regulation period will end. A heart-stopping last 4 minutes, and we're going to go to overtime, tied at 1. Golden goal overtime when we come back.
The score means 1